cinematic. That was my cinematic presentation of the Mizuno Monarcida. Here, this is a product coming from the Mizuno company. It's a takedown model based on the Mizuno Moralia 2, Neo 2, which came out like 2016, I guess. So then here I'm bringing the review to you of the takedown model of it. This is the Monarcida. It comes in the leather variation. It comes in synthetic as well as synthetic leather. I obviously have it as in the leather variation. Full grain leather running through the entire upper. So then Mizuno, if you don't know, is a Japanese based leather company which makes products like mainly they make hockey, basketball as well as soccer stuff. Soccer if you're American, football if you're from the rest of the world. So this is the leather variation of the shoe, and Mizuno, because it's a leather shoe, rarely any players right now use it because they go for the big brands like Nike, Adidas, Puma. But this is a pretty good company, mainly known for the leather, and major endorsement of Mizuno would be Hulk, Brazilian player Hulk, H-U-L-K, not the green character from Marvel movies. So anyway, I'm going to give you a detailed review on this shoe. I'm really sorry for the camera, it's kind of wobbly because I'm holding in my hand. So then this is a first I'm going to talk about color. Online pictures, this yellow did look slightly weird. In real life also it kind of does, but it looks a lot better in real life than it does in camera. It's a bold yellow according to Mizuno, which is the best way to describe it would be probably like a Brazil yellow. And then you have the accenting color acting as purple. It's called purple royal specifically. So we got yellow throughout the entire shoe. We got purple Mizuno sign, 2 foam stripes at the back, like similar to Puma's, I guess. Monarcida in purple, inside liner purple, laces as well purple, as well as the top of the tongue is purple. So now I'm going to check specs. This is a full grain leather. It's a cheap quality leather, I guess. But the advantage of cheap quality leather is once you break it down, it becomes extremely soft. Out of the box, it is a little stiff, especially because it's a old model now. It's been lying in the box for some time. So we got tons of stitching at the front, the high wear zones, just to provide that little bit of structure to the leather shoe, because the leather shoe doesn't have structure on its own. And it kind of gives it, I mean, each individual part of the leather acts a little like a padded material, especially when the padded material in the inside is pretty less. In the midfoot you have Mizuno sign obviously, and you have the stitching moving across here till almost the end of the lacing system, I guess. That was double. Okay, so I was talking about this, yeah. So then you have stitching here as well as the stitching running across from almost the first lace hole till the Mizuno sign. It actually acts as your stitching for the heel liner. We'll move on to the liner in a second. Lacing system runs through the middle. Standard rope style laces. They are in violet color, and they are single lace hole setup. Nothing too crazy about it. I mean, it's pretty standard. It does a good job of locking your heel in place and giving structure to the midfoot. So when we move across the heel, you have this stripe which looks like a foam stripe of Puma's, but it's not, trust me, it's not Puma. This side as well, Monarcida, just to remind you what the name of the shoe is. You got this leather strip moving at the back, and then there's got a pretty decent heel liner. It's a mesh based. It's got padding from almost this point onwards, from my index finger to the top. So if you can kind of show you in the inside, not really visible, but there's padding from the top of the shoe till around here. This much part doesn't have my index finger. That much part does not have padding, which is supposed to increase lockdown. Kinda does. I don't really feel that much. Anyway, padding is decent. We got a internal heel counter at the back. Leather is very thin, I guess. The upper leather material is pretty thin, so you can actually see part of the heel counter right over here. So the heel counter is a plastic internal heel counter. It does a good job of keeping your heel steady, prevents it from sliding side to side. Other than that, we have the insole. As I mentioned, it has a reflective silver bit, and it's a nylon based material. Heel liner with foam on the base, acting as a cushioning system, I guess. The insole is completely glued in, so you can't really remove it. Moving on to the sole plate and outsole, we have a complete black sole plate. It's got 4 conical studs, acting as your heel studs, I guess. 4 on the lateral and 4 on the middle side. 1 support stud, which is roughly oval in shape. So it's a pretty standard layout, nothing really fancy. It doesn't offer too much aggressive traction, but it does a good job of keeping you steady on hard surfaces. This is a hard ground stud pattern, also known as like FG, firm ground. So I strongly recommend you in using this in hard mud type of surfaces. Do not use it for any other type of surface, especially concrete, I guess, because this studs may wear off. This is a TPU plastic material that makes the sole plate. TPU stands for thermopolyurethane, which is basically a plastic material which is pretty lightweight as well as pretty thin and flexible. In this case, the sole plate is quite thick, so it's not really that flexible out of the box, but once you break it in, it's very solid on your feet. Solid means pretty good on your feet. Weight of the shoe, in spite of being a leather shoe, it actually feels pretty decently lightweight. The only major thing which increases the weight is the sole plate, because it is that thick plastic material. It's kind of rigid, I guess. Another thing I didn't mention about the sole plate was it has this nails, I guess, which connects the upper material to the sole plate, reducing like sole separation. Like when the upper is separated from this, it's like called sole separation. When the glue between them becomes soft, this prevents it from happening. So which is actually very common in leather type of shoes. So weight wise, I have it here. This is a size 11 US. It's a size 11 US, size 10 UK. So I'm going to measure it in real time. This is a firm ground stud pattern, but it weighs 8.6 ounces, and it weighs 243 grams, which is decently heavy, I guess, but for leather shoes, actually pretty lightweight. So to sum it up, this shoe is a yellow color and purple color. It has a leather based upper. It has a central lacing system, very standard. Sole plate kinda normal, I mean pretty straightforward, nothing too special about it. It kinda reminds me of the sprint frame from the Adidas, but sprint frame is obviously much lightweight. So on the whole, even though if it's a leather shoe, actually the shoe kind of reminds me of the Adidas leather variation of the F50. I have a picture on screen. They both are like basically I guess almost the same color, yellow and purple. They both are leather uppers. They both are technically decently lightweight, F50 being much more lighter. Obviously this is not just as premium as a F50. Maybe a takedown model of the F50 will be more apt to compare it. But on the whole, pretty good shoe. If you want to buy it, buy it.